Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Good Saturday morning. Once again, it's Outdoors with Larry Ray. Well, if you want to know anything about camping, fishing, hunting, any of the outdoor recreational sports, you'll find it here with Outdoors with Larry Ray. Coming to you from ESPN 790 Studios in the heart of Memphis, Tennessee. Also brought to you in Brownsville on 95.3 or 1520 on the AM side of the dial. And for you good folks in Jackson, Tennessee, 101.5 is where you'll find us. And so, now, the one and only, the wonder boy of wildlife, the oracle of the outdoors, the one and only Larry Ray.
Hit that what is that clang we have over there? I want to hear that again for Frank, because that's just, that button you hit, it makes all that band sound and the chink noise. Where is that thing? There, that's it. Okay. I've got to put that in there because he's done such a great job this year. So now my next guest knows you better be careful, because there are folks in Jackson and Brownsville may know him, and so we don't want to get them coming after him. But thank you, Frank. I kid a lot, but appreciate your friendship and what you have done for Outdoors with Larry Ray for these many years, and that was fun. But a longtime friend, a man connected with our good friends at Strike King Lure Company out in Collierville, is on next, and just so proud that this guy is going to be part of the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame. He's one of the 19, it might be 19, the 2018 inductees, and that's our good friend Doug Miner. He is the VP of Brand Marketing Fishing for Strike King. Good morning, Doug.
Hey, Larry. Good morning. How are you?
It seems like yesterday, Doug. I know that your association with Strike King goes back how far?
Well, I repped the line from I was a manufacturer's rep, and that was one of our many lines, but started with that in 82.
Wow.
And then I went full-time with Strike King in 1989.
Okay, I know that was the year after I became outdoor editor at the Commercial Appeal, only the fourth in 100 years. And I'm still there. I think I'm the last. I think I'll be the one that turns the light out when the paper leaves. But known Doug for a long time. And Doug, I know never in your wildest dreams talk about what this award means to you, to go into the Legend of the Outdoors and see your name posted right up there with, hey, Orlando Wilson is going in. Wow, one of my all-time favorites from TV. Our good friend Charlie Brewer Jr. is going in. Linda Powell, what can I say about Linda Powell? John McIntyre and Jimmy Seitz. Tell us what it means to you, Doug.
You know, the first thing I've got to say on as far as just my end of it, pickings must have been slim. But
come on now, yeah.
It's such an honor. The deal that I've gone to several of the award banquets over the years, and it's just amazing the accomplishments of so many of those folks, and what they have really done and put back in to the industry, and that affects all of us. Yeah. I mean, your Earl Bences and all these guys. It's just an amazing venue that Gary Mason built, and again, when he first came and told me this, I looked at him like he had two heads, and I'm honored. Let me just say that. Let me just simply say I'm really honored.
Well, I think, and talk about your relationship to Strike King, because Strike King, to me, yeah, I'm partial. Yeah, it's here in Collierville, in that beautiful, spacious facility that they have out there. I'm saying that as a joke. I always tell them that, if there's ever going to be a tornado, it's the biggest freighty hole I've ever been in. That's where I would head if a tornado's coming. I'd go to the Strike King building. But talk about the Strike King and the family atmosphere and your ties to Strike King.
It's a wonderful company, and it's a company that I've been fortunate enough to work with the founder, Charles Finn.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And then Ray Mirsky, which
Yes.
is world renowned,
Yeah.
bought the company in '95, and then John Barnes turns around and buys the company from Ray, which he worked for Ray.
Yes,
but
he
ended
did.
up acquiring the company in '97,
Yeah.
and then John's a consensus All-American from Stanford. I always tell John that he could be working for Bill Gates.
Yeah.
But he had
That's
one
right.
problem. He just liked to fish.
Yeah, he did.
That's
Yeah.
the deal.
Yeah.
And Strike King, the whole group there, at the core, we're fishermen.
Yeah.
That's what really separates us from a lot of other companies. And we know a good bait when we use it, or we can all the prototypes and our pro staff and every component that it goes to make the product and build the product. We're all vested in it, and it's a real neat, tight knit group of folks, and it's really a small group.
It is.
It's not a.
Yeah.
We're not over
No.
over skewed in management staff. I could promise you.
You know
that.
that, but you also know that, and again, we're talking to Doug Miner. He is the VP for brand marketing fishing for our good friends at Strike King, and who's going into the class of 2018, the Legend of the Outdoors Hall of Fame, coming up here on August the 25th on the General Jackson up in Nashville, Tennessee. You talk about family. I mean, who doesn't want to be part of the Strike King pro staff? I've known that Mark Copley or Allen or any of those people out there have said, man, you wouldn't believe how many people apply to be on the pro staff. And you look at that. I don't know how y'all have been able to do that and keep these guys for a long time. And it's a family, isn't it?
It sure is. And, I've always given Alan a lot of credit for his he puts those guys, he goes through a process of vetting them that's second to none. And when we all agree that this is a guy that we want to go after,
yeah,
I shake the guy's hand and I tell him, I feel sorry for you because the interview you're getting ready to go through. And but once they and we're 100%. We've never turned. If once we decide we want somebody, we've always, once they get into the family, they're there.
They're there.
And, they're like employees, but it's we look at those guys equal to what we look at the folks internal, and listen to every word they say. They fish for a living, and we build baits and sell fish baits for a living, and we know that. We all love to fish.
Well,
the pro staff rules the new product. They tell us what they want, and that's the reason our new product's always relevant.
And I know that. I know our good friend Mark Rose, Angler of the Year, FLW, and here in
incredible feat.
In a couple of weeks, we're going to have our FLW Cup preview show. We'll have Mark on that show, along with probably some other Strike King guys, because there's a bunch of them in that event over there. So talk about, what is Doug Miner? Are you putting together your acceptance speech? Have you looked in the mirror and said, what am I going to say? I think it's better to do it off the cuff. I mean, of course, you don't wear cuffs, so you don't have to do that. But talk about it.
I just try to take bullet points, but the biggest point that I've got a goal to make is that the inspiration of the people in that audience, because at the end of the day, you're just a rendering of life experiences, and that group of folks has been so impactful to my life, and the leadership skills and the success that sets in that audience. They're the ones that I'm just a byproduct of those guys, because I love to learn and I study people, and it's been it's worked, but I guarantee you this: it's like I said earlier, there is some race horses out there that I just feel like I'm really indebted to, as far as the career successes or whatever success that is declared. Which is, I don't know, but I have learned a lot from Bill Huntley with TNS Marine. I mean, it's like this. Bill used to be one of the biggest sores in my tournament fishing career. Bill would take and win
Yeah.
And I would end up finishing second or third always to Bill. And it got to the point I told him, I said, I know that you're the best out there, or one of the very best. And but I wish you'd miss a lick every once in a while.
Yeah.
And,
well,
and then he turns around and builds Teenage Marine to a mega successful company.
That's right. Well, that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
yeah, you got it. And so when you get to watch those guys and mentor that group that I was raised with,
yeah,
Lord have mercy, it's just a privilege.
Well, I know there's nothing minor about this guy we're talking to. He should be a major, because I know that Doug was, like I said, when I was a pup as the outdoor editor, there was just a handful of people back in those days that put up with me. I wasn't Henry Reynolds. There was no doubt about that. Who was for 40 years. I was Larry Ray, and you and Tommy Aiken and all the crew out there at Strike King have been special. And again, congratulations, Doug. If I'm not there in flesh, I'll be there in spirit, buddy. Well-deserved honor, and thank you for your friendship, and all the best to you, okay?
Thank you, Larry, and I sure appreciate everything that you've done for me personally and the industry, and keep on going, brother.
I am, man. I got to stick together. We got to stick together, man. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, buddy. All right.
Take care. Thank you.
All right, Doug Miner. Let me tell you about next week's show real quickly before we get out of here. Kirsty Pike, she's the founder and CEO, and I like to say, this is what she says. She's the founder and CEO and Imperial Overlord for Pros Hunting Apparel for Women. I love that. The Imperial Overlord.
She's the gal.
She is the gal. There ain't no doubt about that. And she's got some new hunting clothes out for women. We're going to talk to her. We're going to talk to Mike Capps. Folks, he's done a lot for Outdoors with Larry Ray over the years, and you probably don't even know it. But he's one of the great PR persons for the hunting industry. And we're going to talk Pope and Young. Yeah, Pope and Young. That's it's almost time again to start trying to get those big bucks and maybe get your name in the Pope and Young Reels book, and that's with Jason Ronseville, and he'll be on next week's show also. Thank you, Frank Barton. You've done it again. I'll have to put you have thrown the gauntlet out for John Gordon. You have thrown it out on the table to see who is coming up with the best introduction to each segment. And I'm thinking that we're just going to have to cut Dennis Fuller out of this. We don't need him anymore. You hear that, Greg? Just throw Dennis out of there and just keep in these guys because they're good. Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome, Larry.
Everybody show up over at the Barton Indian Motorcycle Place.
Indian to Memphis on 5715 Mount Moriah. Come by, and we riding bikes here in just about an hour or so. Come on out.
Come on out. Be there till 4 o'clock.
Check out the Indian bikes. You bet.
That's right. All right. This is Larry Ray reminding you I do each and every week. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport, and God bless the USA.